Good evening and welcome to Omnibroslive, hauls, previews, and reads, which I totally forgot to bring in any hauls and remember my reads. Okay, well, we're going to have a show anyway because I'm Omnidog and I am joined by lots of my OmniBros.
What's up, everybody?
Almost a full house.
Almost a full house, yeah.
Almost a full house.
I think they had to form.
I'm joined by Gabe Loves 90s Comics. How's it going, buddy?
Doing great, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for showing up today. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's make it happen.
And the Uncanny Omar.
How's everybody doing? Thank you for joining us.
And Lou from Comics Guide 101.
Hey now.
Hey now. And Gio, who's an hour ahead of us. How is it?
I'm slightly in the future. Hi, everyone. Happy to be here.
And so we can talk about Ryley tonight because the only one not here. So we'll talk shit about it. I mean, we'll talk about InStockTrades.com, our fabulous sponsor, where you can get your collected editions up to 50% off. Loyalty discounts add 2% to that. At the end of every month, they are kind enough to give us a $50 gift card to give out to a lucky viewer anywhere around the world. You just have to pay for shipping. Speaking of shipping, $50 or more in an order in the United States gets you free shipping with InStockTrades.com. Fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging. That's InStockTrades.com. I didn't even make a mistake that time.
No, that was good, man.
Good job.
Beautiful voices. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. What are we talking about tonight? What do we usually do on Monday nights?
Transformers.
Transformer nights.
We're gonna make Jess go to BotCon 2022. Like ever since I joined the show, he gave me so much crap for he was nerd shaming me because I went to BotCon. Like this dork that I've seen walk around conventions with this little backpack of comics to get signed is making fun of me because I went to a Transformers convention. Now that he's getting into Transformers, I'm going to make him join me at BotCon all the way in Canada whenever we get out of this pandemic.
2 Transformers is all I have.
That's all you need, baby. You get 3, and it's a rabbit hole.
There's a collection at that point.
Yeah, then you're going to be getting Unicron. You're going to be like, Omar, have you heard of this planet that transforms into a robot? Have I ever?
Transforms into a robot?
Yeah.
How have you not seen the movie? Oh,
he was voiced by Orson Welles in the movie, who at that point was about the size of a planet himself.
Welles?
Yeah, and it was like 15 minutes away from dying. Like
that was his last acting role, was the voice of Unicron. And he was so unhealthy that's why they kind of like made his voice sound like a deeper robotic voice.
It needs to be bigger.
Yeah, he was like, you remember that champagne commercial where he's just fucking blitz, like he's sitting. You've seen the outtakes of that commercial?
Yeah, that was great.
Okay, that's the way he was through the entire thing, like filming of Transformers.
Was this the original cartoon?
It was the movie for the original cartoon.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Remember the soundtrack you gave me because of crappy pop music? The soundtrack to that movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I blame Tyler for the sudden Transformers fever that everybody has.
Dude, I talked Tyler into getting Transformers, and he got me into G.I. Joes. I'm like, he's like, are you getting Joes? And I'm like, no, I don't need Joes. I don't need that in my life. I don't want the Viper. I've seen the rabbit holes that I can get into. And then he's like, I picked you up a Firefly. And I'm like, you pick me up a Firefly, that means I have to get the rest of the freaking things.
It's a drug dealer, man. The first hit is always for free.
Dude, I know. See, that's what I did. I sent him some Transformers I had from the last wave. And he's like, oh, man, awesome. These are my favorites. Before I know it, he's sending me pictures of all the ones that he's picked up. I'm like, yeah. All right. So, hauls? Who wants to go first? Because my haul ain't came in yet. Hauls usually come at the end of the month for me. What about you guys?
I got nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
I got a couple things real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I'll show off my Transformers and my new statue.
Oh, statue. Nice.
And Transformers.
Yeah.
Oh, I kind of figured that was going to happen.
Which one?
The statue. I saw it.
Who got a
statue? Inevitable.
Who got a statue?
I did.
Where is it?
Hey, Jess, real fast. This is
Go ahead.
Unicron. This is Unicron.
Yeah, look at him eat that planet.
Oh my god, that's such an iconic scene. If you're a kid and you saw that film,
He's
you
a
lost.
planet eater.
He's a planet that eats planets.
He would whoop Galactus' ass all day, every day.
You know,
I don't know how Gabe feels about that though, because I like to.
So originally, in one of the original first drafts of the film, Unicron was going to fight a Cybertron. Like they were going to insert the Matrix into Cybertron, the heart of it, and Cybertron would transform and fight Unicron.
That happened in the comics. That's Primus.
Did it really happen?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it happened in the Marvel comics, and then they started doing it in some of the IDW stuff. So that's always been kind of canon. And they actually made a toy of Primus. He's not as big, but Unicron versus Galactus. Who would win, Gabe? Real talk.
Galactus.
This is how you walk up to a woman at a bar. Hey, baby, I saw you staring at me from over there.
Galactus, Unicron, baby. Who do you got?
Win.
Galactus.
Galactus.
Yeah.
That guy wears a skirt. Unicron.
No. Galactus. Spoilers, but Unicron gets destroyed by Hot Rod and the Matrix. You can't do that.
He comes back later on. Super spoilers.
Well, and even cooler spoilers. The Transformers use his head as a base at one point.
Starscream steals his eyes. Oh man.
Yeah.
Anyway, where are we going with this?
It is amazing if us are married or in a relationship.
Yes, exactly. How did I ever get a woman? Jess, what is the statue that you got?
I got it from Sideshow, but it's an Iron Studios.
Yeah.
Witch. It was surprisingly affordable for how nice this is. So I am continuing my fixation on this particular Scarlet Witch, which is Elizabeth Olsen. And this is a really nice statue. That's what I got in last week, along with some other stuff, but nothing as cool as this.
What do you mean some other stuff? Would you get a bunch of Transformers?
Well, I did get 2 Transformers. I finally figured out how to make this guy right.
No,
Nice.
What is this guy's name?
Wait a sec. It is Voltron?
Oh my god, you're the worst. How? Come on. What's his name?
McLaren, Dream Car, Back to the Future guy.
Come on.
I don't know.
1.21?
Gigawatts?
His name's Gigawatt. Yes.
Gigawatt.
Is it
I do know
gigawatt?
this guy's name.
Is it
This is
gigawatt? Or,
Bumblebee.
I thought
What's
it was. I thought it was gigawatt.
Don't you argue with Dr. Emmett Brown. It is a gigawatt.
This is Bumblebee, so I know that.
I can't believe your dorky ass Bob Bumblebee. I love it. I can't wait. Here's the next step. It's your next, you have to get third-party decal statues. Because Bumblebee ain't complete without that
You gotta have the
Autobot
Autobot
logo.
symbol.
Yeah, man.
Next up,
I'll
Jess.
hook you up, Jess. I'll hook you up, Jess.
Next up is Jess. Once I get
He's gonna get rid of all his bombshells and replace them with Transformers. Yeah, man, it's coming.
You know he's going deep because all of a sudden he's gonna start getting the masterpieces to build Devastator. Then he's in trouble.
Oh,
You
dude,
start getting into combiners and you start arguing up with
Let me see if I can show you.
X9.
See that top shelf?
goodness.
That top shelf is that's the big gestalts. That's the big guy.
Oh, man.
Those are the new wave,
I
and then
love that Scorponok. Dude,
that's my classics down there.
I gotta give it to
Look
you.
at all those.
Those shelves has to be reinforced, right? You have those reinforced.
Oh yeah, those are definitely attached to the wall. Those
Okay.
aren't going anywhere. Yeah.
Nice.
Was that it, Jess? Was that all your haul?
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see that shelf, Jess? One more year. That's gonna be you. So I picked up a third-party Omega Supreme.
Now this, I agree. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. We finally got some proper RC figures, man. We never had that growing up because fembots weren't a thing back then.
Mm-mm.
M-bots.
Lady Transformers, even though in the comics they don't have genders, right? So that's a thing in the comic book. So it's pretty cool.
Well, phase 2, they have couples like
I love that
gender covers or whatever. Yeah.
Well, it's only genders because that's the way we remember their voices, and that's all explained through there. It's really cool. Anybody else? Because like I said, my haul doesn't come in until end of month.
Yeah, I got a couple things real quick. Everybody was getting into Transformers. We've been talking about Legos as well. I got a Legos Boba Fett helmet.
Nice.
Sweet.
Which is
very
cool.
cool.
Something for me and the wife to spend time putting together. You know, almost like an old couple doing jigsaw puzzles, but
easy. Take it easy.
This generation, it's Lego. A little bit more Star Wars action with Volume 2 of the Menace Epic Collection. Volume 1 was a super hard one to find that somebody hooked me up with. Volume 2, same with almost every other damn Epic Collection out right now. It's out of print. These Star Wars ones are falling out of print really hard. Some of them are super, super whale status. And then I also got another Epic Collection of Thor Immortal Flesh. There's some great Tom DeFalco stuff, Ron Friends. This is actually a second copy I got because I'm going to be doing a trade with somebody else for this and some other hard-to-find epics for other hard-to-find epics that I don't have. So that's going to be part of a good trade deal.
I love it.
And single comics action. I just got this earlier today, Essentia. This is actually my friend, John Domayan, the drummer from System of a Down, who I used to work for at Torpedo. This is his comic. This is his comic book.
Oh.
So, gotta support and help out your friends when they got a project going on. Art's pretty great in it. This is honestly the first time I'm looking through it. I just got it earlier today, having a chance to read it or anything.
Is this self-published or is it like Kickstarter, Indigo, or
it's Kickstarter? It's going through, according to the cover, Wake Entertainment. It was a Kickstarter project at one point. Tony Parker does the art, and he had a gang of variant covers from some of the best. Frank Cho variant cover.
I was going to say he knows everything. He's best friends with Jim Lee, so he got Jim Lee to do a cover.
Yeah, Jim Lee did a really great cover too. So, gotta support your buds, man, when you got something going on. So, and that's it for hauls for me, guys. Gonna be filling up these back shelves pretty soon. So. That's my next little. Oh, one more thing, real fast. With moving and finally getting my own comic book room again, I'm finding cool things that I forgot I had, and I found a whole set of hologram X-Men cards from the Jim Lee Series 2 stuff. Yeah, buddy. Again, this is the Wolverine one. I'm trying to see if I can get a right kind of glare to make it happen. It's not really doing it, but we
get it.
It's cool.
Wait, hold that up again. Let me see. Is that Andy Kubert?
No, this is all Jim Lee.
That's the Jim Lee one? Oh, you got the gold ones. Yeah, I remember these.
The X-Men, this is from the X-Men Series 1 Jim Lee set, which...
God, I remember how much I wanted those.
One of the best fucking card sets from when I was growing up. Loved it. That's how I learned all my information about the X-Men. That was because I wasn't around for when they did the official guide Marvel handbooks and stuff like that. I got all my information and all that stuff from the trading cards. So always good stuff. And that's it for me, dudes.
I hauled manga, but I put everything away, and I'm too lazy to get everything again. This was the closest thing near to me right now. So this was one of my
nice, man.
books that I got. It is Junji Ito's Remina. Yeah. I don't like the glossy finish because the spine is really cool, and it has a textured feel, and I hate how this looks. Same with the back. Yeah. But this is Ito's venture into sci-fi with horror. So you have, speaking of planet-eating monster things, here we have a planet that warps into our galaxy and is going to destroy Earth. So things are going to happen. Let's see if I can show you some art. I don't know if I'm spoiling anything. You'll have to forgive me. But here's some of the art.
What's Ito's usual output a year? Is it like 3 books usually? 2-3 books?
Last year he did one series that was it was online only on the app that they use in Asia. I forgot the name of the app, and it was released digitally. But most of the stuff already came out, and Viz is pumping out 2 to 3 deluxe hardcovers per year. This year we're getting Love Sickness collection in a couple months, and then in August another one that I forgot the name of. But it's usually like 2 or 3 of his material. But yeah.
No, for somebody that's just getting into Ito, because I've only read that Spiral book. Uzumaki. I've never read any of his other stuff. Where would you recommend somebody start?
Uzumaki's probably his best one that he did.
It's still my favorite, but I would go into his short horror because I love short horror stories. I think they're great. Maybe the Frankenstein book I really love, and Shiver or Smashed. They just have a bunch of short, cool stories. Tomie, I have a hard time recommending because it's so big and it's just focused on one singular thing.
I don't care. That chick is creepy. I love that book.
Sure.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite.
Yeah. Talk about this over here.
There's some images in that damn book, man. That's the book that I tell the story that I threw on the damn ground. I said, "Fuck this! I'm going to go watch Full House." I get creep because I was at home by myself, and I like to creep myself out when I'm home watching scary movies and stuff. But there's a panel in this book where I don't want to spoil it, but she shows up unexpectedly, and I was like, not today. I ain't doing this. It literally freaked me out.
Can I show this? Because it's pretty violent. I don't want to get demonetized here for you guys. I can show you this.
That's awesome.
But what I mean is, this is it's a thick boy, and it's just based on the character. So I don't know if everybody's on board to read about her. Whereas a short collection story like Shiver or Smashed, you can read multiple stories and get bite-sized, freaky stories. I always recommend those instead, on a personal level.
You could read Dissolving Classroom. That's the one that made me almost throw up.
Oh, you can barf at that. Yeah, sure.
I love the contrast between his writing, and he just seems like such a genuinely sweet guy. And then you see
his interviews.
Yeah, and then you see Miyazaki, who everybody thinks, he writes lovely. He writes and draws, and he animates lovely stuff, and he's probably a dick.
He would.
Did I drop?
He criticized his own son's movie, and he said his own son's movie wasn't that good.
He wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong.
He was right. It's not good. I agree.
Yeah, Ito, man, he's the way to go. And what's crazy is that, man, when I first read it was called Spiral originally when it was coming out in that pulp magazine from Viz. I never thought I would see those creepy ass pictures on
Hot Topic shirts.
Yeah, little girl clothing.
Yeah.
What? Or a picture of Tomie? Because you can find them at Hot Topic, and there's little kids wearing that. I'm like, this. There's a little girl that wore it to my daughter's school last year in the 5th grade. I'm like, what's up with that? It's just really weird.
Yep. But that's. I got some more manga. I'll put a haul video tomorrow on my channel, so look forward to that.
And what is your channel's name, by the way?
What is my channel's name? A Week in Geekdom, where I talk about manga and all that stuff.
Right. Good.
Yeah.
Great.
Look, there's that pusher.
There he is.
That was the nerdiest, most gangster story I've heard all day, Tyler. I love the way he's like, man, I just swiped that thing from that guy's cart, but I still had to go up front and pay for it. I'm like, man, you go, you gangster, you. That's tough.
Wait, did he really steal something from that guy's cart?
Well, no, it was. Yeah.
Oh, it was the employee's go back card.
Yeah, it was the employee he went up to it's Tyler's story. I don't want to wreck it, but he was on the phone with me when he was doing it. And the employee of whatever store he was at said, "No, man, we don't have any G.I. Joes." And so Tyler went back, and he could see it in the cart, and the guy had moved away to stock something without the cart, and Tyler saw it in the cart, the Viper, which is, I don't know, some
he'll know in about 6 months. He's trying to find one.
And so Tyler just went yoink and went up to the self-pay counter and zip, went right out. It's not like he stole it, but he paid for it.
He paid for it. Gangster.
Totally took it from that guy who was going to put it on eBay, that evil employee. Which is awesome.
That's just...
will you get Asadora and Sneeze? I'm not going to get Sneeze. But Asadora, I pre-ordered it, and it should arrive sometime. But I did get it.
What? Just out of curiosity, why not Sneeze? Are you not a fan of his short stories, or?
No, it's just I don't have room for a lot of manga. I'm trying
gotcha.
Pick which titles I'm gonna display and get and all that stuff. If I can sell some comics and omnibuses or whatever, then I can get a whole bunch of manga for my collection, but not now. But I am getting Asadora because it's new, and I really like the premise of that book.
How many volumes is that going to be?
Right now, volume 5 or 6 was out in Japan last year. So we're going to catch up quick because volume 2 is already solicited for April, if I remember correctly.
Can you highlight Carl N's comment? Not well, either one. I love his Bob the Goon picture.
From Batman.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite subscribers based on just that one picture of Bob the Goon. I am in the lines. Gangster, what can I say? You gotta learn how to ride the line. He pays his taxes. So gangster.
He felt like a badass for a bit, but he's a badass with a heart of gold because he did pay for it.
Cleveland Brown, that's a good point. You always got to have room for manga. That's true.
Well, you have room on the floor, right? Like
True.
Jess and me?
Yeah, I can do that.
On my floor.
That's the difference between a hoarder and a collector. Nothing on the floor. Or that's what my wife lies to me about.
Congrats to Oxmeat Pete.
Happy birthday, brother. Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
All right. Any reads you want to talk about today, dudes?
Sure.
I finally finished Marty King, which I talked about previously. It ended with 35 chapters, and it was really bittersweet, and I loved it, and I really want to collect it because I fell in love with that series.
What was the series again?
Marty King. It's a manga on Shonen Jump about bugs that anthropomorphic bugs that compete against each other to become the king of the forest, if you will. And one of them is a rhinoceros beetle that looks like a human, and he's friends with a young kid who raised him since he was a larva. It's bizarre. It's wacky. It's so Japanese.
We have to do another episode of manga, real or fake.
Oh, that was so fun. Because Jess was it was you and Gabe, right?
Yeah, it was me and Jess trying to guess.
And was it me and Ryley or me and Gio were just throwing fake and I was coming up with the ridiculous titles knowing that Jess was like, maybe that sounds like a manga. That was a lot of fun.
That was great. Did you read anything else?
That's all I read.
What did you read, Omar?
Dude, I read a ton. I started reading Conan Omnibus Volume 5. That comes out in March, I think, or no, February. Because I gotta do an overview of it, and I'm not familiar with any of that material because this is my first time reading it. And it's I think this is the last of Roy Thomas's stuff before Jerry Conway or Bruce Jones takes over the book. So I'm excited to see that. A lot of people are like, Roy Thomas is where Conan ends for me. But I'm curious to see, how it dips or how much it dips. I reread some of the Mad Bomb storyline just because I love that story with Jack Kirby. So really quick, for those that didn't watch my video, the Jack Kirby reprint of the Omnibus Captain America is a new just everything has been touched up. It's in the right reading order, and they added the letter pages. So everything looks a lot better. It's new scans. But the best thing I never read was those letter pages, because I made a comment about this on my video that, man, trolls have always been there. Like, they were trolling so hard on Jack Kirby, dude. Like, people were like, do you even know who Red Wing is? That's Falcon's partner. Like, can you draw birds? Why isn't, like they were, like, literally just drilling him. Like, talking about how bad his art was, how bad his writing was. This is Jack Kirby, right? Who I thought everybody respected back then. But I guess the new generation had started reading comic in the 70s. So they weren't around, like, when he left to go do Fourth World, right? So by the time they had been reading it for 2 or 3 years, this old guy comes back, taking over the book. And they're like, man, get out of here. Your writing sucks. And that's a lot of it has to, Mark Waid wrote this really nice intro. A lot of it has to do with, like, the editorial that didn't like him. They put in, like, half negative letters there.
Oh, just to beat down his spirit?
Just to beat down his spirit. And part of the reason why Jack ended up leaving to go do animation. Because he was, I mean, how long can you read "you suck" before you're like, I can't, I don't have to deal with this. Like, I'm out of here. So it's interesting because I made the comment, I'm like, man, that's back when trolls meant it, right? Anybody with a username can type up something mean and leave it on your YouTube channel. Back then, you had to put a stamp on it with your address, and you meant it. You
take it down.
Mail it out. I'm mad. Where's Red Wing? So I read that. I read the new Conan book by Jason Aaron. Holy crap, that was a lot of fun. And that Azar's artwork in oversized format is freaking awesome. I started reading Batman, the Caped Crusader Volume 5. That came in yesterday. And I think that's it. There's something else I was reading because I'm taking a break from old reader, new reader for the upcoming months. I'm just reading things that I want to read.
That show's so much better now.
Yeah, you can go to hell.
So they completely redid and added stuff in that Captain America omnibus, huh?
Yeah, everything. They're brand new files.
But did they add Extinction Agenda to it?
I don't. That doesn't even make any sense. And this is something interesting. Corey, the guy that worked on it, apparently he's doing touch-ups on the Fantastic Four Omnibus Volume 2 reprint, which nice. I thought was perfect. I didn't see anything wrong with it, but apparently they're going back and doing a lot of restoration. So really cool for the people that don't have it, may want to buy it again. I don't know, but that's really cool that they're doing these things.
That's one thing that these omnibuses were missing, were cool things like the letter pages.
Absolutely. Well, that's one thing that, that's different between the Omnis and the Epics. Epics don't have letter pages, whereas Omnis do most of the time. But it's a time machine, man. To go back to that time when you get to see people be upset. You get to see people that blew up, like George R. Martin, Ralph Macchio, not the Karate Kid, but the editor. Man, I was talking to somebody in my comments in between the Amazing Spider-Man, I think it was in Volume 2. There was a letter from a soldier that was in Nam, and he was going on about how much him and his troop just love Spider-Man. And then months later, somebody had written from his troop that the guy had passed away.
Oh wow!
Before the letter was printed. So they just wanted to let everybody at Marvel know. I was like, man, that stuff like that's a time capsule forever in that book. So anyway, that's the stuff that I read. What about you? You read, you guys?
I think that would be a cool coffee table book if they printed all those letters just by themselves, no art or anything. I'd check that out.
I'd read through that for sure.
Yeah.
No.
It reminded me of.
Oh
Superior Spider-Man.
gosh! How dare he kill Peter Parker?
People yelling at Slot for killing Peter. That's the dumbest thing ever.
Maybe if you've been reading comics for 3 months and didn't know about this idea that characters come back, I guess you'd be mad.
Well, I always like the letter pages like in Powers, because Bendis was kind of a dick to his readers. Eric Larson in Savage Dragon, Kirkman in Walking Dead, and Invincible. They were always not like hardcore dicks, but they always like to fuck with their fans.
I did like the letter pages in Walking Dead. Those were fun.
Yeah.
I don't know about a letter page omnibus. I think that's what Curtis suggested, and I was thinking, no, like they're fun to read in between chapters. I don't need a whole letter. Most of these people just complaining about things. I have forums for that, or I mean, Facebook pages for that. It'd be interesting to see letters after one more day. I think they knew what was coming too. Like we knew what was going to happen in one more day. Did anybody else read anything?
Nope.
I read by John Arcudi Rumble, 6 paperbacks for that.
That's good.
Nice. Is where a deity comes back to Earth to claim his body, and so he has to takes a scarecrow's body and puts his spirit into that, and he can wield this badass sword still, but he's a scarecrow. And he fights all kinds of all these weird and wacky creatures, and gets humans to help him, and it's really well done and really fun. I really dug it. Taylor Brown and I both talked about it, that we're unsure. John Arcudi said that he was not done with the story, and I think that's right, because the ending, it said the end, but it didn't feel like it was the end. It just felt like sort of a pause. So he's got more to go, but I highly recommend that series. So that was 6 trades, and that was the bulk of what I read. I also finished Paper Girls Volume 3, and
did you like the ending?
I did. I feel that it left me feeling good. I felt good about it.
That should be a blurb on the book. I feel like it felt me. No, what did you say? I feel like it left me feeling good.
Yeah, it left me feeling good. I was happy with it.
The dog something.
Dog something. Dog something. I felt like it left me feeling good. Yeah, okay. I smiled when I put the book down. So
excellent.
Nice.
And then,
oh, you know what? I ordered the what was it called? The East of West. Back then it was in stock. Turns out it wasn't in stock, so I don't have it now. The East of West Volume 3. I got the DM cover, but that was out. So I was a little bit disappointed.
They're coming back one more time in March. If
it's the last time too.
Yeah, the last time.
The last time in 2021.
The last time again.
How many times have the Rolling Stones said that?
I do want to get it just to complete the set.
My favorite X-Men movie, man, that's tough. I really like X-Men: The Last Stand. No, I'm just kidding. I hate that movie. Either X-Men United or X-Men Days of Future Past. I love X-Men Days of Future Past and X-Men
Days of Future
United.
Past is great.
Yeah,
the road cut is
the way to go. Yeah. Yeah, Tyler. All 3 are coming back in March for a last printing. As we said, even that's what Hickman said, that they're coming back in print one more time, and that's it.
What about the Generation X movie / pilot?
That was fun.
Yeah,
back then, I guess it was a big deal back then.
Oh, I was so excited for that when that was coming out.
Yeah, didn't it have Max Headroom? Wasn't he the villain?
Yeah, he was the main villain. Yeah.
What was the X-Men show that Jess and I hated that was on Fox?
The Gifted.
The Gifted. But there's only one reason to watch that, and that was Lorna. Like that was it, right?
Everybody whined in that show.
I watched like 2 episodes and quit.
Everybody whined and made sourpuss faces, and everybody was so bummed, and the adults were even as bad as the kids. Oh wow! Why is nothing going right for me?
I'll be honest. I watched the pilot. That was it. But also, I didn't keep up with Legion, so I can't really say much.
Yeah, I want to get back to Legion, but I think I watched the first 2 episodes and just fell off of it.
Oh, dude, the first season of Legion. I got through the first season. I need to catch up with the other 2, but the first season of Legion is incredible.
The second season's great too. I'm about halfway through the 3rd season.
I'd watch it just for Aubrey Plaza.
She's great. Yeah, she's great.
Oh man, that chick is awesome.
Yeah,
in everything, she's so funny.
I read Shadow of the Batgirl. I talked about it briefly yesterday with Jess. Really fun one-shot graphic novel of a Batgirl story. It's about Cassandra Cain and her just kind of first encountering Barbara. It's pretty much a retcon. Anybody could really read it and enjoy it. Great, all ages, super fun Batgirl story. If you've got a teenager or if you've got a kid who they have a passing interest in Batgirl, absolutely, I recommend you guys pick that up. Who was the artist on that? Does anybody know?
Is that the YA book?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shadow of the Batgirl?
Yes. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I almost got that for my little girl. She has Mira. Is it Nicole? Oh my gosh.
Nicole Bell.
Where'd Jess go? Oh, he went to get the book. Get the book.
Yeah, she's got very much a Brian Lee O'Malley style of her art that I really enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
It borderlines almost on manga. And I think it's a fantastic read. And I think, Omar, for your kid, she's gonna absolutely dig this.
I think you dig it, Omar.
Yeah, I really do.
I don't know why I didn't pick it up. I know Maddie picked it up and really liked it. And Cassandra Cain is that's my favorite Batgirl.
Yes, sir.
For life, that is the best Batgirl.
Word.
Yeah.
I hate that she's not Batgirl. Like they just make her, what is it, the orphan now?
She's orphan. Yeah, which is just a weird whatever. But Cassandra, man, all the Kelly Puckett stuff, the stuff in No Man's Land. Tinian's Detective Comics, she is the best. Yeah, I love Barbara Gordon, but Barbara Gordon to me will always be
Oracle.
Yeah.
Well, she's Oracle in this book, and through happenstance, Cassandra Cain, something happens at the beginning of the book where she decides, you know what, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to be an assassin anymore. So she heads around a city. And eventually she bumps into Barbara, who is in a library and teaching all these students. And you start seeing that evolution of the character and how she starts from somebody that is deeply traumatized and is dealing with certain issues about her father and her past. And eventually she puts on the cowl. And it's a really great self-contained story that I really recommend everybody check out. I read that, and I also finished my reread of Vision, just because WandaVision came out. So I got the fixins, I got the Jonesins for a little bit of Vision.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that book, it's even better the second time around. I like it more the second time around because you can see the little seeds and all the stuff that it was clear Tom King had a roadmap for the beginning, middle, and end of the story and how he was going to lay everything out and play out what plays out in that story. But it is truly a stellar work of art. Tom King he's been kind of hot and cold with me lately, but man, going back to those big 3, those are easy recommendations for anybody where you've got Omega Men, Sheriff of Babylon, and Vision. And you know what? I would even throw Mr. Miracle in there because Mr. Miracle is fucking fantastic. But Vision, it's really cool seeing how he plays with Vision trying to start a family and he's living this suburban life, and the ramifications of that and how things all fall apart. I also forgot how dark that book gets because it gets really dark as you go through those middle issues, and eventually you come to the conclusion of what happens. I think it's a great place for somebody who is interested in Vision. If you have a lot of knowledge of the history of the character, you will get more out of it. But I think anybody can really pick up this self-contained 12 issues. I believe it was 12 issues. And,
12 issues.
And you will be just fine. And those covers, was that was Del Mundo that did those covers?
Yeah,
it looks like his artwork. Yeah,
Del Mundo did the covers. The interior art was Gabriel Walla, and that guy was fantastic.
Gabriel Walla just. Tom King's got this weird fetish with the 6-panel grid, or 9-panel grid that he's been doing in every single one of his books. And you know, it can be hit or miss with me. I thought it was kind of missed for me in some areas with 3 Jokers. But here in Vision, it really works. And I really love what he does. And the covers by Mike Del Mundo, I mean, you just look at some of those covers, and almost any one of those could be on a poster or could become a modern day classic. I absolutely love those covers.
I think that it works. I think it works just as good if you've never read any Vision. I really think that. God damn it! Sorry, Oxmeat Pete just messaged saying Super 7 just announced they're releasing the Thunder Tank. Guys, I had a point to make it. I love the Thunder Tank. Damn it!
So you just want to end the show now and order?
I gotta go get the Thunder Tank. It's $200.
Where's the link? Where's the link?
I don't need that. I don't have room. Oh my god. Okay. What was it? Yeah, I think people that yes. I think people that have never read anything about Vision, I think they're gonna be okay. Because going into it, my problem was I had so many things with knowing the background of the character and knowing oh gosh, I don't want to spoil one of the characters that shows up in the book but has ties to Ultron and Vision.
Yeah, I forgot he was in there. Having done the reading, I was like, oh right, that's how the crux of this whole conflict really kicks off, and this whole situation that eventually leads into everything. I was like, oh, that's right. And if you don't have that prior knowledge, you could do a quick Google search of what exactly his relationship.
Yeah, and honestly, he's so different in that book than he is anywhere else. Like in his own stories where he comes from. I think it's okay to go into it without really not much, because like as far as like Mr. Miracle, I remember reading that and thinking, you know, I other than his JLA appearances and some of the Justice League by Giffen and DeMatteis, I really didn't know much about Mr. Miracle. So I asked Jess, is that the way he was, or is this different? Because I feel like that's the way Tom King did with Vision. Like, you know, there's aspects of Vision in there, but it's more of his own Tom King, like pocket universe, and that's okay.
Same with Mr. Miracle.
It was a good story. Don't get me wrong. But it still felt like its own little thing. Yeah, and sometimes that's good. I felt the same about Hawkeye. Like, if I forget everything about Hawkeye, Hawkeye's a fun story.
Yeah, Tom King tends to ignore certain aspects of a character's continuity, especially if it's a character that really hasn't been in the limelight for a long time, such as Vision, which he wasn't really in the limelight for a while, and Mr. Miracle, which not many people knew or cared about Mr. Miracle before the kind of that Tom King arc, unless you were really deep into the Jack Kirby and like classic stuff. But he does it for the sake of the story, and I'm not really a continuity queen. Like stuff like that doesn't necessarily.
Is that what you call me? I'm a continuity queen. Wow, so much drama. Oh man, okay.
For me,
I need to change my handle on my business card. Yeah. Continuity.
Yeah. For me, if the story is good and if it works, then I'm not really going to be too crazy about like, oh, in issue 374, this happened in like X-Men or in whatever Spider-Man. I don't really care about that stuff. I'm like, tell me a good story. That's what I'm really interested in. If you can tell me a good, compelling story, I absolutely am on board with that. By the way, yes, I know 3 Jokers is not written by Tom King, but I'm using it as a damn comparison because I saw somebody in the chat because they use that similar format as well.
I was wondering where you're going with that.
Actually, three Jokers is written by. Yes, I know.
Gio, did you feel the same about Inhumans when Paul Jenkins took over the book when he did that series? Because I feel like Paul Jenkins went into that book not knowing anything about the Inhumans, and he still rocked it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. He paid no attention to what was happening before and just did his own thing. But I think it worked for the franchise and the characters. And I still recommend it to everybody. If you want to get into the Inhumans, that's the book to read to get a feel for what the stories are about.
Yeah,
I just wish we would have an omnibus of it.
I'm gonna make that happen, buddy. Right after my New Warriors Volume 2, Dark Hawk. There's so many that need to come before Inhumans. We can't even get a proper Inhumans adaptation, man. That might be the problem too. Like,
I'm hanging. My hope is on the Miss Marvel show. I think that's the gateway to reintroduce all those characters.
They're gonna retcon her, man. She's gonna be a mutant. It's over. It's over and done. You got to start reading X-Men titles, dude.
I'll quit Disney Plus if that happens.
You quit Disney Plus. I'll show them. They're gonna go bankrupt. Was that it for reads, or did anybody else read anything? Okay, let's do some previews, guys. It's almost 9:00.
Who's the Uncle Jesse of the group? Gabe?
I would assume Jess is the Uncle Jesse. Oh, Uncle Jesse was cool. No, not Jess.
Whoa.
Who's that? Dave Coulier? Was that his name? Cut it out? Yeah. That guy? Yeah.
Oh, wow. I haven't heard that in ages.
They canceled Aunt Becky, man.
Yeah.
Prison does that to you.
Oh, her 6 weeks in prison or whatever she spent.
She got her hair did in prison, man. She was fine.
The carpeted sails and the tennis courts. All right, so let's take a look at this week's releases up here on previews. Let's take a look, starting with Image Comics. Black Magic Volume 3. Go to Greg Rucka, Nicola Scott. Chew trade paperback Volume 1. I need to check this out because I love the original Chew.
It's fun.
So I need to give this a shot. Too bad it's not Rob Guillory on the interiors.
Mark is great. I love the first volume.
And then we got the trade paperback release of Pulp.
I need to get that OHC. I keep forgetting about it.
Is it oversized? I thought it was like standard sized.
Jess, is it oversized?
Pulp? Mm-hmm. The trade or the
no, the hardcover
standard.
Okay. Maybe I'll wait.
Pulp is so good. Pulp is so good.
Yeah, I mean, when had those guys let me down though?
Never.
Like, seriously.
I need to read Restless.
I can't think of a single book that they worked on. Even the book that I don't think is the best is still better than most standard books out there.
Well, even the stuff that's not crime, like when they did Sleeper, is fantastic.
I consider that crime noir, though, man. That's
superpowers.
Yeah, and that's okay. I mean, Incognito is very similar to that.
Loved Incognito.
I wish he finished that.
All right, so we got Universe. Somebody in the Facebook group was asking about that for us to highlight this.
I like that it's a 9x6 landscape. Mm-hmm. So it's a little different. It's like those what is it, Private Eye?
Yeah, where it doesn't fit in your Kalex shelf at all.
The most annoying format.
Yeah, I agree. Dark Horse this week. We got Disney Princesses Make Way for Fun trade paperback.
Like
a lot of books there. Dark Horse is fun.
IDW, we got some more My Little Pony Omnibus Volume 6.
Oh God, the next book breaks my heart.
Oh, the Dire Wraith trade paperback.
It just reminds me that Marvel doesn't own the rights, and we can't get a Romnibus, and we can't even get a Romnibus out of IDW because there's too many Marvel characters in it. So they would have to get so much permission from Marvel lawyers to do it.
Speaking of Marvel. Epic Collection coming up first here with Conan Chronicles, Songs of Bullet, Dawn of X trade paperback volume 11 for you guys.
That cover has a spoiler, by the way.
Oh, it does? That's why they're not showing it?
if you've been reading, Hellions is so good, but yeah, it's a spoiler that happens in the last volume with Hellions. So, yeah. They don't show it because I think those covers come at the last minute, honestly.
And then we got Eternals trade paperback, Cosmic Origins. Here's one of the best books. This is mine, and I know Lou. This is our favorite book for the last couple of years.
Yes, sir.
Immortal Hulk, and probably the book that gets reprinted almost as much as Watchmen. Another printing of Days of Futures Past.
Why?
That should always be in print. It's a great story.
Boom Studios.
Are they doing manga? Is that manga?
That looks like a comic to me.
Looks like
It has a manga feel. Yeah.
I think that's what they call manga in Japan, comics.
Let's take a look at the preview.
Now, there we go. Preview time.
All right. Am I reading it this way or am I reading it that way?
So this real question. That's at Archaea. Are they part of Boom?
Yeah, they acquired them a while ago.
Okay. I didn't know that because I still have books with Archaea's logo on it.
Not gonna lie, that art is not for me. Reminds me of a webcomic.
Yeah, it's kind of like somebody's third comic book ever.
It doesn't look that good.
You know what? I think at least they've got something published. Is the way that I see it.
Hey, good for them. But yeah. I need some background, buddy.
I was gonna say, do you remember those Esurance commercials? That's what it kind of reminded me of.
Oh God!
Oh,
the girl in the electric cool motorcycle trying to sell you auto insurance cartoon.
Yeah.
That background thing. That was always my issue with Jay Lee.
No backgrounds?
No backgrounds.
I'm not paying for Jay Lee backgrounds. Speaking of backgrounds, that had zero segue into this. Abandoned Sacred Beast. I almost said
Beast.
So pronounce that.
I was getting really close to messing that up.
It has a little cheesecake in it, but it's a fun series.
Oh, Vertical. I'm so glad they're still around, man. That's good. They don't publish that many books.
There's Asadora from our boy Urasawa.
That is our boy.
Everybody should get that.
I'd go and have
pick of the month.
I'd go and have drinks with him.
Is this his new book?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I'm picking this up. This is a day one for me though. I don't even know what it's about, but I'm picking it up because it's.
You don't need to, right?
Yeah.
It's just, he's that good.
Yeah.
Wait, is that the guy that did Pluto?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And 20
right.
Boys.
I've been reading Pluto. It's all boxed up now, so I can't go on with it, but I'm loving it. So you guys talked me into getting this, probably. What else is on here? Anything good? Oh, Beastars Volume 10 for you, Gio.
Nice. Love me some Beastars.
Here's a not for distribution Blood.
Blood on the Tracks is phenomenal. If you want psychological creepy horror, this is the way to go. I cannot recommend it enough. But some people may not like it because of the subject matter, but it is awesome. I did a review on it for this channel if you want to check it out.
What's the subject matter?
Well, that crazy mom is how do I even say this without triggering?
Sleeping with her son?
Jess.
Stop.
How did you go there from? It's just manga, man.
It's just looking at my Pornhub searches.
We were all thinking
Jess said it.
She's a little bit too obsessed with her son, and on a really odd day, there's a family picnic gathering, and a accident happens with one of the family members, and that family member ends up in the hospital, and you see this sudden obsession with the mom over the kid, and it's unhealthy in the way that it's happening, and there's a whole bunch of stuff. But it's really creepy, and I definitely recommend it if you're into that.
You better.
creepier than that? Because that sounds creepy enough.
I love that you were like, I definitely recommend it if you're into that,
type of
incest.
perverted weird thing.
Okay.
If you really love your mom, then you can go ahead and read this book.
In all seriousness, all kidding aside, Gio.
Yeah.
Just what made you read it? Like once you found out you didn't know the premise going into it, I assume, or you just heard it was really good?
Back in the day, a couple years ago, I saw a lot of people on YouTube talking like, this is a really disturbing read and you got to check it out. I'm like, all right. And I read it and it was really disturbing. There's some really messed up stuff that happens. And the bond, it's sort of a torture on the kid because she's so obsessive over her kid and the things that she does and says and how she manipulates him into not having relations with friends and potential girlfriends. And she's super obsessed with him to the point where a possible murder happens because of it. It goes into that scary territory where we've kind of seen stories like that in real life. And I think that's why it resonates with a lot of people. But it's not about incest. It's not about sex. It's about psychological terror and all that stuff.
Just a mom who just never cut the cord.
Yeah. It's a big series in Japan. It has, I think it already has like 9 volumes out there. And we're now on volume 4 over here. Oh, there's a lot of manga coming out.
They've been really just unleashing the manga since the pandemic, it seemed like.
This is a big week.
Ooh, the Apocalypse War?
That's a great story.
Okay, so did you read it in the case files?
No, I read the graphic novel sort of like this. I read separate graphic novel book.
So then you read the one that had all the chapters in it, because the case files took out the chapters with the oh my gosh, what is that? Apparently they had things with like Kentucky Fried Chicken and McDonald's and things on there.
Oh, trademarks.
Yeah, and they couldn't reprint them in the case files, so they used it in the graphic novel. Apparently, that's what I was told. But it's like the only time they ever did it.
Are you sure that was Apocalypse War?
Maybe I'm thinking of another story arc.
I think that was. There's an uncensored one of just a sec.
It's the one about Earth and the medicine. No, he can't hear me. Never mind.
Cursed Earth.
Cursed Earth. That's it. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Is there a graphic novel for that one?
Yeah, and you got to get the uncensored one, and it has all the McDonald's and Kentucky Fried Chicken stuff in there.
Ah, thank you, my dude. Yes, cool.
Yeah, it's really good.
By the way, for anybody wondering, Hell's Paradise is wrapping up in Japan, so we might get the whole set pretty soon. It's going to be like 13 volumes, I think.
This Hope Under Fire looks cool.
Wow.
I thought that was Mike Deodato on the cover for a second.
I can see that. That looks cool. Looks like a old paperback or something.
Is that Wayne? Is it supposed to be John Wayne? Kind of looks like John Wayne a little bit.
Occult Magic and Hollywood Noir. Ooh.
That sounds really cool.
It sounds really cool. What is that? Hope
Under Fire.
Huh.
Volume 2.
There's a lot of manga.
Kids? Is this like that movie Kids?
I don't think so.
Okay, because I don't see any of these kids.
It's based on the cover.
I don't see any of these kids get AIDS on accident.
I remember I drove 2 hours to go. Back in the day before the internet, we had to drive to go see movies that weren't allowed around our place.
I saw that on HBO, and it creeped me out.
Yeah. Thunderbolts. I heard that was really good. I haven't read it yet, but I heard that was a really good.
Orient is from the dude that did Magi.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's his new work, new book.
Pizza and taco, best party ever.
Mm.
Can't argue with that.
Yep.
Uh,
Love it.
7 Deadly Sins.
What's that she at the Tower of All That Is Known? What is that?
It's high concept sci-fi like East of West, Black Science, and Saga.
Calm down. If you have to do that on a preview, I'm not trusting it.
What?
If you're doing that, like, you want to sell me that book? It's like East of West, Black Science, and Saga combined.
What's all the best comic books out there right now? It's just like that.
That's how you sell people, Gio. You don't sell people by saying dude sleeps with his mom. That's not how you sell a book.
Well, there is a market for that.
Wait, are you sure, Omar?
Damn it. I'm sorry. I don't mean to knock anybody's kink. You all do you.
Don't be kink shaming.
Saying no kink shaming.
No kink shaming. I'm sorry about that, guys.
Sisters.
What's this gray? This gray Spider-Man looks kind of cool.
Is that the Fantastic Four suit that he's wearing?
No, it looks like some kind of animated Venom suit.
Yeah. Look at that. Splatoon is still going strong. I love it. 11 volumes.
Damn.
That's what's up.
Are those fun, Gio? I love the game.
I've only read like a few chapters, and they're just silly gag comedy.
Okay.
All right, so that's that for previews. DC this week.
Yes. Kicking it off with the Dark Knight Detective Volume 4, baby.
With the Anarchy storyline.
Release date pending, by the way.
Shut up. That one's already mailed to me. I know it's coming. This is what
release date might change at the last
Omar's
minute.
got the only copy.
Dude, for a while I had the only copy of Absolute Day Tripper. Remember that was like right before the pandemic. They sent me one, and everybody was like, I'm never going to get a copy. And then like 4 months later, finally they started shipping it out.
That was also the same for Straczynski's Spider-Man Volume 2, I think.
Yeah, I remember people were offering me money. They were like, do you think this will ever come out? I'm like, no. How much do you have? $500. No, I wouldn't do that, man. I kept it. Justice Society of America. I'm looking forward to this. This is a deluxe edition, I think. Well, maybe it's not.
HC.
Never mind. I don't think it is, but I'm looking forward to that book.
And then Young Justice Volume 3.
Oh, trade paperback to go with my 2 hardcovers.
Yep.
Thanks, DC.
Yep.
All right. Where's the GIF?
You can't go a single week. Just 1 week.
And that's it. That's what's coming out. Man,
there's one more thing, real quick.
Is that it?
It's not on UCS, but it is on the in-stock trades releases that just put out.
But is that update? Oh, it is updated.
That's the update. That's their invoice, I think. Maybe.
What you got?
The box set for Blackest Night, Brightest Day.
Oh, the recall or the new printing, yeah.
The new whatever with the glue, it was like ghost glue, or there's something going on with the glue.
Can you highlight Nelson Carvalho's? We need to talk about this, guys. Gio, don't go anywhere.
Where the hell is this?
Okay.
There it is.
So on my show on Saturday, there it is. Okay.
I couldn't find it. Excuse me.
On my show on Saturday, they wanted my honest opinion. I wish Taylor Brown was here. They wanted my honest opinion on a rating of 1 to 10. Like some of the DC detectives, right? Like for me, John Constantine's 10 out of 10. So the gentleman who super chatted me, like gave me some names and then 1 out of 10. So I was like, in all honesty, I'm going to give Batman a 6. I know it's not a popular opinion, but he's really not that great, depending on who's writing him, because I have to take into consideration some of the stories that he's been in, making mistakes. And he's made a lot of them. People just went off. Like somebody made a meme about it. Oh man, it was great. And they were like, "You're gonna have to take this to the OmniBros and see what they think." And I'm like, and then somebody said Scooby Doo is a better detective. They had my back. And I literally was talking about like, he himself has said that Tim Drake is a better detective than him. Like he's really not that great, guys. He gave himself the title World's Greatest Detective. I could give myself the title World's Greatest YouTuber. Doesn't mean that it's true. All right, so what do you guys think? On a scale of 1 to 10, Batman. Thank you, Derek. Exactly.
I give him a 7.
7. Okay, fair enough.
From
what you guys know and have read,
Yeah, I'll give him about a 7. 7.
All right.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with everybody else. 6, 7. Because I agree, they don't do many detective stories of him like really getting into like the nitty gritty like CSI. I mean, besides the first like the Arkham games, those are like the best detective stories they ever did for Batman. But you don't get that through Batman. It's more Batman being like super God style Batman, where he's fighting Darkseid and sitting in Mobius chairs and stuff.
When was the last time we actually got a detective story from Batman? Was it Black Mirror? And that wasn't even Bruce.
That was I was just gonna say that.
Well, I mean, there's aspects of it in what was that Bendis storyline? Not Event Leviathan, but that Walmart Bendis Batman story.
Universe.
That's it, Batman Universe. That had aspects of it, but I don't know. I don't even know if that's in continuity or not. What about you, Jess? You're besides Taylor, who gave him a 10 out of 10, and that's ridiculous. That only belongs to John Constantine. But
Rorschach's a better detective than Batman.
Yeah, Mythology is a great detective story.
That's classic. That's classic. What would you? You've read a lot of Batman. What would you give him?
I give him a 8.5.
8.5. Okay, that's more of a realistic. Without a utility.
That's it, right there. Done.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she wouldn't be half the detective she was without brain, though.
That's true.
Or her original iPad from the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny because I think the question was occult detectives, and I was thinking more of like how much occult experience does Batman have in the occult, right? And then everybody turned it into just gave Batman a 6 out of 10. I'm like, that's still pretty good, better than I gave Ralph Dibny. Gave him like a 5. You remember he was a detective though.
Yeah.
You're a terrible detective. Your wife gets murdered.
With a big spyglass up to his eye.
I had to take into consideration identity crisis.
Didn't
Sue
know?
Like,
I love this comment.
In Grant Morrison's run, didn't he not realize Jezebel Jet was like planning behind him this whole time? And everybody that was reading it was like, well, of course it's going to be her. I think it was Jezebel Jet. What's her name? I forgot her damn name.
He is Chuck North.
That's in Morrison's run.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Renee Montoya is a better detective than Batman. True.
I agree with that.
Hey, go to Taylor Brown. Are you serious, Taylor? All right, Taylor Brown, for those that are driving right now and about to crash this tree when I read it. All right, Tim Drake wouldn't be the detective. Get him on this show. Tim Drake wouldn't be the detective he is.
Tim Drake was the one that figured out who Batman was.
He figured it out with a freaking gift, like a freaking spyglass that he got from a Cracker Jack box. He figured out that Batman was Bruce Wayne and that Dick Grayson was Robin and that Jason Todd was killed by the Joker. He didn't have any training.
Wait. He did crack
Link.
He did crack Batman's identity before.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He figured it out with the Cracker Jack spyglass thing. Like, he's a smart dude.
Yeah.
A Cracker Jack.
He didn't need Batman to train him on how to be a detective. I mean, sure, later on, I get that, but
you might have taught him how to fight and combat and stuff, but not not the basics of being a good detective.
I'm talking about a real detective, like Detective Conan.
Oh yeah. By the way, here's the solicit for the box set. If anybody wanted to check it out.
Results may vary.
Yeah, you are
Taylor.
Your mileage may vary when you get to Brightest Day.
Yeah.
Blackest Night's fantastic. I think Blackest Night's one of the best things that's been out in the last 15 years from DC.
Yep.
12 new hardcovers. Brightest Day is just a wart on Blackest Night.
So are these hardcovers standard size hardcovers? I'm assuming by that price.
Yeah.
I think so. At least you get the rings.
Yeah, I have the rings still up in my desk.
Yeah, I got those when Blackest Night were coming out.
You have the Legionnaires ring? Of course you do, Jess. How many Legionnaires rings do you have, Jess?
I have 3, but they're still in the package in mint condition in the card on the card.
Taylor, you're digging your own grave. Any person with a brain can figure out that Bruce Wayne is Batman. People in Gotham are just plain stupid. So he's king of the idiots. So he's really not that bright then.
Okay, wait.
He makes a strong point.
Man, we should have had Taylor on here.
Sorry.
It's easier to argue with him face to face than.
I'll get him on right now. Just a sec.
For Jess, Brightest Day was bad before Flashpoint even came out.
Fine. It did have some really cool ideas with Aquaman and Martian Manhunter and all that stuff.
I like the Aqualad stuff. That was cool, but it took like 7 issues before anything happened, and it was Deadman eating a hamburger at one point because it's the only thing that made him happy. It was.
Oh God, I remember Deadman. Oh Jesus Christ, I remember that issue.
Yeah.
Oh God.
It wasn't an issue. It was like the first 2 story arcs.
Yes.
Who was writing that? There were 3 different writers. Like Jeff Johns was writing some of it. Who were the other writers?
It came out weekly or something like that.
Yeah, it was supposed to, and it was. I mean, there were some good storylines, like the Justice League story. I
like the Swamp Thing stuff towards the end.
What was it called? Justice League with Keith Giffen writing it again. Jam DeMatteis.
Right. Yeah. I just remember really loving the Swamp Thing stuff, just because I love Swamp Thing.
There were aspects of it that were okay. It gets a lot of hate, man. Like when people are like, "I want a reprint of Brightest Day," there's a lot of people that jump on that, and they're like, "No, you don't. It sucks."
But that art though, with Ivan Reyes,
Scott Clark, rest in peace. He also had some artwork in there.
Yeah, he was living. He lived here in Vegas when he was doing that, and he would come into the store. I actually have a piece of original art somewhere, and he would come into the store and like show me the scripts, and he was all digital back then. He would show me some of the digital files of his art.
You have original art somewhere. You have too much original art.
He does have a lot of original art.
Yeah, you have too much.
And then there was the other. Oh, gosh, I can't remember the guy. He got banned from Marvel because of that. He wrote an anti. Oh my gosh! It was a message on X-Men Gold.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. He was in the background.
I cannot remember his name, but he was an artist on that book too, and I liked his art.
Wait, what are you talking about?
In Brightest Day, he was one of the artists because they had exchange artists that would rotate, and he was one of the artists. He was the guy that got banned from Marvel because he wrote a message on one of the issues of X-Men Gold.
It was in the background. He was the artist for it, and Marvel.
It wasn't even on the background. Yeah. It was on Colossus' shirt.
Yeah, Marvel had to do a whole big recall of it.
Yeah, that's it. Saif? That's him. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. I dug his art.
I forget, what did he have on? Can you say? Oh, was it about Muslims or something?
It was anti. Like that.
No, it wasn't Muslim. It was like something again. Was it Jewish? Anti-Jewish?
Oh, anti-Semitic stuff.
I think so. Don't quote me on that. I never got the issue. I just know that he was let go because of that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I forgot about that. I do remember that now, though.
Yeah. So, but I did enjoy his art when he was around. So,
I sent Taylor the link. Is he has he shown up in them?
No.
Well,
it's been an hour and 15 minutes. Yeah, and that's even before we were hanging out in the green room.
That's been a lot of fun.
Green room.
Is that what we call it?
The backstage.
Oh, there it is.
There you.
You kicked him out, Taylor. Tim Drake is.
Let's see who's the best detective out of all of you. Am I doing this because I believe it? Because I want to set Omar off.
You set me off, man.
I'm doing it. I believe both at the same time.
I don't know. I never claimed to be the best detective. But I could figure out that Batman was Bruce Wayne any day, all day.
So you're kind of negating your point about Tim Drake then.
No, I'm just saying I'm as smart as Tim Drake.
Oh, okay. So you're inflating yourself. Got it.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Just want to be clear.
That's what I do. When it's all you got, it's what you do, guys.
But I think we can all agree that none of the Batman family would be where they are or be who they are apart from Bruce Wayne's influence in their lives.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a bit of both. Their lives would be a lot happier without him.
Tim Drake wouldn't be an orphan without Batman in his life. You're right.
To be fair, you have a homicidal maniac as a son also. So, and you got one Robin that just goes around killing people.
Yep.
Well, we can all agree that Jason Todd's the worst Robin, right?
Yeah, well, he's batting 50-50 right now on kids.
Yeah, he's not. I mean, he was pretty. No, never mind. I was going to say Barbara, but I forgot about that.
Spoiler.
He forgot about spoilers, so he wasn't really the greatest. He's not had a good run with women.
Well, okay. That's not supposed to be tear down Batman. You're discussing detective abilities.
Oh yeah, he's really smart. He did have one of the coolest things, and that's basically because of Grant Morrison, though. The whole R.I.P. I don't want to spoil.
Oh, the military grade meth he was taking?
No,
weapons grade crystal meth is the term that they used in the book. That's printed in there. He was injected with.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, now we're talking about the Batman of Zora and
Super awesome.
Yeah, I just think at times they have to kind of undermine Batman's detective abilities. Otherwise, there won't be any stories. There won't be any mystery. If he's like, okay, I know who the person did it right away, that kind of negates all the mystery out of any story. So there kind of has to be some throwing him under the bus to some degree.
Well, with all the negative talk of Batman and his detective abilities, we're getting into, you can't deny how great Long Halloween was, which is probably one of the better representations of Batman as a detective, where the point of you reading the book was to try and figure out who the killer was, and it was a month by month themed book, and it was a chance for everybody to get into it and try to be a detective on who and solve these crimes as well. They did try that with Hush, but you knew immediately the moment that they introduced a new character. Oh, hey, here's Bruce Wayne's best friend, and he was 4 years old. Remember him? Oh, now there's a guy wrapped up in bandages. Can't be.
And they did that again in Court of Owls.
So look, here's Long Halloween has two strikes. Number one, it omitted Batman Year 2.
I knew it.
I knew that was right.
Gabe, that was the best kick out of all time because he definitely deserved that. Batman Year 2 is a train wreck. It's atrocious. It's the worst thing ever been done in the history.
I can't even have a counter, like a rebuttal. Really?
If you want to hear Omar wax poetic about Year 2, go on Omnidog's vault and see our video where Jess and I rip it apart.
That's how I argue with my wife. I'm out the door.
Omar, would it be true to say that Year 2 is your most wanted absolute?
Not my most wanted, but it's.
Oh, come on, be honest.
I would buy the crap out of that book. Absolute Batman Year, absolutely. Yes. Oh man. Sin number 2. This is a spoiler. I can't say. Did he really figure out the mystery in the end?
Not really.
Story.
Right?
Long Halloween?
Long Halloween.
Right? I mean, I don't know if y'all remember the ending or not, but did he really, though?
Wasn't it just that one of the real person who did it just came out and said, "Ta-da, it was me"?
But it really depends on what version of Batman you're talking about. The comics Batman, movie Batman, Batman animated series Batman is the greatest detective. He does so much detective work throughout that series. That's the best version of Batman, period. Best version of Batman, period. That's not even arguable. But he's definitely the best detective out of all the different Batmans we see throughout continuity.
That makes Kevin Conroy the best detective, not really Batman.
Oh, he's the best Batman, so there's that.
Keep going with the Batman discussion. I gotta go.
Oh, okay.
We gotta get out. I gotta get out too.
I have to talk about InStockTrades.com, our fabulous sponsor, where you can get your collected editions up to 50% off. Loyalty discounts add another 2% to that. There's always a gift card given to us to give to you at the end of the month in a random generated number type thingy. Order $50 or more in a order in the United States, and you get free shipping. Fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging. That's InStockTrade.com.
Beautiful, beautiful. Every time, never gets old. Thank you, Taylor, for joining us this last minute and making my blood pressure go up. Like
I'm happy to do it. I know you do it so much for Jess, so I'm happy to do it for you.
I love it.
I'm sure Jess loved that I came on.
Yeah, I'm sure he got a kick out of it too.
I still have tears in my eyes.
Wait, so if I'm remembering the Grant Morrison run now a little bit more clearly, doesn't he have a backup system in his brain?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Zurin R. That's the Zurin R person.
Yeah, he's got a backup program in his brain, right? Like you can unplug him and then replug him and whatever.
Yeah, that's that Bat God nonsense. Like, come on.
They do it.
They
in a
did
really
the same
interesting way.
thing. They did the same thing at the end of the New 52 run where he was backed up into a machine also.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, there's only so many stories you can tell about the world's greatest detective, though, before you start reusing them, right?
But they didn't do that with Tintin, and he's the world's greatest detective.
No, Scooby-Doo is the world's greatest detective. We've talked about this.
7 out of 10.
I love the reality. I don't know how familiar you guys are with Mr. Terrific. Like, I love the reality of Mr. Terrific. Like, claiming that he is the third smartest man. Like, they never state who the first two are, but I love that. Like, as if I was in the DC universe, I would be like, no, I'm definitely not the world's smartest. I'm just gonna make myself the third world's smartest, and I'm good enough with that. That's why I love Mr. Terrific. And on that note,
we will find out where you can be found on the internet. Omar?
On my channel, Near Mint Condition. That's where I can be found. Oh, Joey was in the chat earlier.
Yeah, he was. And Gabe, where can they find you?
You can find me, Gabe Loves 90s Comics, on Instagram, and also Omnibros on Instagram as well.
And Lou, how about you?
Comics Guide 101 is where you can find my archive of old videos, and you can find me on Twitter at Comics Guide 101.
And I'm sorry we don't have a cartoon for you, Taylor, but where can you be found tomorrow night at 7 if the other member of our trio shows up on time?
Well, if Tyler shows up, we'll have a show at 7 o'clock all about Star Wars. This is our second reschedule, so hopefully it doesn't have to happen again.
Star Wars Marvel books, right? Marvel books put out by... Oh, Jogi's still here. You can find me, Omnidog, on Omnidog's Vault on YouTube and Omnidogs_Vault on Instagram. Yes, please hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe and leave comments. Thank you to InStock Trades, our fabulous sponsor. Thank you to the chat for participating and all the viewers out there. We appreciate you, and peace and love, peace and love. And
good night, everybody.
Oh, Oxmeat Pete.